And we are late to the game. And you know what? We're just having fun. That's what the real purpose of the pond is, just to have fun. And we're going to continue having fun by going into Invincible. We're so late to the party, but it doesn't mean we're here at the party. So let's kick it up a notch. Hello, and welcome to this part of the pond, where it's the bullfrog and the one, the only, Newt.
Face refill at 100,000 subscribers.
It's a good trade. 100,000 for us, and Newt's facial revelation to you.
I just think that's a great deal.
It's an amazing deal. And he's always behind the camera, so yeah. Invincible from Image Comics, where I know squat nothing. I think there's a dragon cop guy from Detroit. I know they had a 90s cartoon of it. And I think maybe Pitt, or it was Image, or was that Dark Horse? Well, Image Comics, not that well known. It's nothing really new. We've seen superheroes before. They show off they have their own Justice League. Yes, they do. But when you see this Justice League and you compare this Justice League to the new Justice League of it, you can see there's quite the contradiction. How the new Justice League is a failure to the original Justice League. All right, you can give that, but it's a superhero movie show. What's new about this that makes it so original or everyone's talking about it? Well, for starters, both parents are alive. Wait, what? Who else does that? Really, who else does that? Yes. And more than that, this is Mortal Kombat style brutality. Is that good or bad? You'll be surprised. Because with this brutality, it almost seems glorification of just gore. But when you really look at it and analyze it, this is more the lines of high schoolers going into the military. The high schoolers are these people looking at superheroes, quite literally. While in this show, it does the same thing. Mark Grayson, your main lead, played by Steven Yeun, has a father who is J.K. Simmons' Omni-Man. But his dad is this world's Superman. But Mark here is about to get superpowers, and he's been eager for it. But now when he gets these powers, guess what? He's going to have to learn from his father. This is a superhero mentor, as much as well as father-son. Okay, that's sounding more interesting. But what are the villains? There's a twist villain. And not just only a twist villain, there's also some villain of the time episodes, and also a subset of secondary villains that just steal your heart. They're called the Mauler twins. Mauler twins, and this twist villain. What are they? Well, the twist villain is revealed at the end of episode 1. Who does that? That's the point. They make it weird so that way you can actually sit down and go, it's not about the revelation, it's about this mystery thing of why, but also what does this mean for everyone if it gets revealed? Is it going to be this season or next season? You just don't know. This is what it means to be very interesting with a twist villain. And the Mauler twins are also very interesting. What happens with them is they don't know who's the original and who's the clone. They do this constantly, but yet they're brains and brawn. You fall in love with these two. You want more. Okay. So this sounds like this average superhero show, but really it's taking some interesting points and twisting them to make something different of something that we know. Yes. And you want to know something else? What? It's fun. This show is just plain fun. There's nothing that's really saying anything that is like really saying everything. It's not very political. It's not very something that's, oh my gosh, you want to roll your eyes. There's nothing like that in here. All this is a show. I better watch this. You should. Yes, that skit was long, but that's the point. When I saw the promos for this show, I was like, another show. But after watching research on it, going, okay, maybe I will bend. After my little brother, Baby Frog, yes, if you watch this, that's going to be your nickname. But by George, you are the baby. And deal with it. As many people were talking about it, there was still stuff left behind. That felt like, oh, no one talked about that. The show still held, with everyone still spilling on it. And Newt watched this too, and were you like me researching, or did you just go in?
I just went in blind, and I just have to say I ended up binge watching it in one day, so I think that sort of says how I feel about it.
That's an entire season.
Yep.
And let's be honest, people, the voice cast is worth it. J.K. Simmons, Stephen Yeun, Sandra Ho. If I said your name wrong, I'm sorry. I don't know how to say names. But also many more. I mean, Mark Hamill's in this, people. This is it's a good show. The voice cast is amazing. The animation is a bit rough, but you can understand. I bet 80% of the financing went to the voice cast. And by George, it's worth it. But it doesn't mean that their animation is forever bad. They save it for the fighting, and by George, that fighting is wow. But we already saw that in the skit of talking to myself. But it's still a fun show. And also, it's very deep diveable. It's really good. From not only the how they showed violence and what it means, but also the parallels of the Washington D.C. Security guard, the mountain, yes, the mountain, but also analyzing Mark's relationships with his girlfriends. Because when you compare them, you can see there's very different from how he caught each of these girls' attentions, and you can see which one seemed more healthier than the other. How one seemed a little bit more, this doesn't look right, to that one looks better. And I liked how they did it. That's good writing, but also how you can see the difference of relationships and how things are. And this is such a good show. The writing, the acting, when the animation does go whole hog, you just go, yes. By George, yes. And I need a drink. Because I just saw that. But I can do this to R2D2. But they can't do it to that guy. Or her. If you know what I mean. It's a really good show. And it's not for the faint of heart. So beware. And again, Mortal Kombat levels. But yeah, I just already went through that. So I think we would probably have to judge it right now. And if you're new to the pond, and if it's been a long while from the pond that we have done a review, we actually rate movies and books and shows 1 out of 7. Why? It's an odd number. 4 is exactly in the middle. 1 is at the bottom. And 7's at the top.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Where would we put Invincible? Honestly, I think it's a potential 7. This season, not the show. We have to wait till that's done. But this season is so yes. Everything about it is fun, but also the writing and how they made these characters and how it's so compelling and we're on pins and needles for season 2, people. Amazon, if you have more money, please put some more into the animation just because we want to enjoy it more. But also, give a little tip under the rug or in the side or in the shadows, whatever, and see if somehow we can get Danny Trejo to play one of these characters. I want that guy in something, okay, people? And more Mahler twins, too. Those two are just too lovable. Oh, but why a potential 7? Not exactly a 7. Well, you know when you got out of this show and you're like, wasn't that amazing? And you go back, you go, it's not as amazing as it was. That's why we call it a potential. We wait an entire year. So next year, around this time, Invincible Season 1, it's going to see if it is a 7. Well, until that time, next time, it's the Bullfrog and the Newt signing out.